So Nisha, what food would you serve on your wedding day?
Oh, anything topped with cheese.
Respect it. Elvis Presley is a figure best remembered for two things: his storied musical career and his propensity for eating large amounts of food. A lesser known fact about the king though is that although he fucking loved food, his tastes were a little strange. For example, consider the fact that on his own wedding day, Elvis Presley only ate ham.
So yeah, it's pretty common knowledge that Elvis had a big appetite.
He did, yes, and we've talked before on this very channel about the time Elvis Presley flew across the country to try a sandwich. And if some of the more salacious rumours are to be believed, when Elvis Presley's weight was at its highest, he would consume in excess of 100,000 calories per day, which, for reference, is more than an elephant eats.
Jesus.
So that's probably exaggerated a little bit, but when we get into it is a lot, and the figure has been contested by people who knew Elvis, but at the same time, people who did know Elvis said, yeah, that sounds a bit exaggerated, but it wouldn't surprise me if at least one day he did do that, because man, what Elvis's eating habits fucking awful.
Yeah, I'm getting like Joey from Friends vibes off him.
Yeah, Elvis Presley, he loved his food, and what's it, the Joey special is just 2 large pizzas.
Yes.
And the Elvis special was a fried peanut butter and banana sandwich, according to his longtime cook, who said it was his favourite meal, and she was the only person who knew how to make them just right for Elvis. And according to her, her trick was making sure that you soaked the bread in butter and fried it. And Elvis was a simple southern country boy at heart, and even when he became immensely wealthy and famous, his taste remained quite simple, although ironically he did like quite rich food, as evidenced by the fact his favourite snack was a fried banana sandwich.
What did he eat on an average day?
A bunch of fried food and gallons of soda. As I mentioned, his favourite snack was a fried peanut butter sandwich, which noted that Elvis would have a full fried breakfast every single morning with black coffee with a lot of sugar in it, or cream if he felt like it, and wash it down with a couple of cans of Pepsi. And while the majority of the meals that Elvis ate were prepared by that chef I mentioned earlier, who spent well over a decade perfecting the artery-corroding food Elvis loved so much, Elvis himself was noted as being a bit of a dab hand in the kitchen, as evidenced by his creation of Elvis's special party meatballs.
Oh God, Karl, what are Elvis's party meatballs?
They are regular meatballs that were covered in bacon then fried.
Oh, of course. Should have known.
Yeah, Elvis loved bacon. To such an extent that the staff at Graceland, his giant palatial mansion, were instructed to never let the supply of bacon in the fridge run out. And there was a list of food Elvis insisted always be in his fridge at all times of the day, and that will no doubt be below me right now. But bacon was noted as being his favourite, so much so that that personal chef I've mentioned would cook off a batch of bacon every single morning to put it into a bowl, which Elvis would carry around his house and snack on. And can you imagine if Elvis was around about 10 years ago when epic mealtime was a thing? If I remember correctly, did they used to put a calorie counter at the bottom of their creations?
Yes, they did. Yep.
And then they used to give it to a big group of people and they try and eat it in one go. I'm now thinking about Elvis could probably demolish one of those in one.
I can imagine him starting his own like YouTube channel about like Elvis
Cooking
in the
with the
kitchen
King.
or something. Yeah,
Cooking with the king.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's a fucking money idea right there. It's too bad he's dead. Damn it. So here's one for you, Nisha. What dead celebrity do you think would have absolutely fucking just dominated on social media? Yeah, because I'm reckoning someone like one of those famous divas would give like people like Beyonce and Mariah Carey a run for their money.
Yeah.
Like one of those old divas from the early days of cinema, like Katharine Hepburn or something like that, who just, like we talked about in the video before, did not give a fuck. And just, I imagine all she would spend her time doing is annihilating people on Twitter.
Or what about like Marilyn Monroe? I imagine she'd be quite big.
Oh man, she'd be like posting like no makeup selfies and stuff.
Yeah, she'd be like queen on Instagram.
She'd be fucking, absolutely just wrecking a house on Instagram. She'd be posting all those inspirational quotes. She'd be making them up. That's what she'd be doing. You know, people always post like a picture of Marilyn Monroe with a fake made-up quote that she never said on it. She'd be doing that. She'd be just ripping quotes off people and pretending she said them.
So like the main point of this article is like speaking about what he ate on his wedding day.
Yes.
So what happened?
Well, Elvis's wedding day was reportedly a muted but simultaneously quite elegant affair, and the caterers had quite a challenge on their hands because they had to balance Elvis's love of homely southern fried food with the, shall we say, loftier expectations of his guests, which saw the reception have a buffet that featured things like fried chicken being served alongside lobster and caviar. which just sounds like a good time for everybody. There's something for everyone there, and it's noted that even the fancy stuff on the menu, like oysters, were still fried. It reminds me a lot of that scene from The Simpsons where Moe buys the industrial deep fryer, and he's advertising, and he deep fries the entire meal, and they're eating the wine glass or something like that.
At Moe's, we serve good old-fashioned home cooking, deep fried to perfection.
And Elvis, as much as the food was prepared for him, reportedly didn't eat that much on his wedding day because he didn't really care for the fancy food and just ate a massive plate of ham. Which fucking mood right there. So I've just got married, what do I do? I'm going to gorge on ham. Just a big old plate of ham. Do you want any lobster? Nah, some ham.
So ham with a side of ham.
I want you to feed the pig some ham for that double ham goodness. You can't stop it. I know that it's bad to glorify people gorging themselves on an unhealthy amount of really, really bad food, but there's just something really compelling about TV shows and stuff that show it. Like the show, was it Supersize versus Superskinny?
Yeah, I used to watch that a lot.
You should have watched that. And for people who may not be familiar with it, what they do is they get someone who's very underweight and someone who's very overweight, compare their diets, and then make them eat each other's diet for a week. And the idea is it's to give them both a healthy attitude towards food. And you always see just like the super skinny person just sat and it's in front of like an entire fucking buffet table. And like,
just like so many plates of food.
the fuck am I supposed to do with all this? And the other show as a guilty pleasure for me is Secret Eaters. Would you like to explain Secret Eaters for the audience at home? Because Secret Eaters is one of those shows you think, I can't believe they got permission to make this because it's so cruel.
From what I remember, it was like, it's usually like a couple like live together and they don't understand why they can't lose weight. Like they say they eat healthy, they have healthy meals, they don't drink much and all this stuff. So they go to, I forgot the presenter's name, but I think she presents Naked Attraction.
Okay.
But yeah, they go to her saying, oh yeah, we don't understand why we can't lose weight. Can you help us? And then I think they set up cameras around the house to see what they're really eating. And it will show them like coming in from a night out with a kebab or endlessly going into the fridge to get out snacks. And they're like, oh my God, we didn't realise we were eating so much.
Yeah, but they film people in their homes and just like put zoom ins. It's like, oh, they go to the fridge and eat a biscuit. And they ask them, like, they ask them to write a food diary. Go, so what do you eat in a week? And then they watch them and say, what do you really eat? Everyone always lies on these things. And you see them like sneaking into the fridge and eating stuff. It's like, you know there's a camera in your house. You signed off on it being there and you think you're going to get away with it.
Isn't there a bit where like they reveal in like one room how much they eat all together? Yeah, they show them all the food. You're like, say, okay, oh my God.
Here's all the food you ate last week. And you can always see in their eye like, man, I fucking demolished that right now. And the problem with those shows is that they almost always just don't work. Even the ones that are ostensibly about losing weight, like Biggest Loser and all those kind of shows.
Yeah.
The fun fact about those shows, almost every single person who's ever been on one either gained the weight back or said that the show didn't help them develop a healthy attitude towards food and dieting. Because they turn losing weight into a competition.
Yeah.
And there are stories from people who've been on those shows of like, you are so like ostracized from the group if you don't lose weight that you will exercise until you literally piss blood because you're that dehydrated.
Oh, it's so unhealthy though.
And oddly enough, that doesn't give people a healthy attitude towards food, but there's just something just compelling about the shows of just seeing these people just yell at someone like, stop eating food. And like, I can't. Like, why am I watching this? This is awful. This feels like that episode of Black Mirror. Do you know that Black Mirror episode where it's Daniel Kaluuya? And it's just all of society is on exercise bikes.
Oh, I think so.
And their TV shows are just people poking like overweight people with sticks. And that's it. And that's their entertainment. You think, man, imagine living in a world this horrible. And then you turn off at Channel 4 and it's like My 400-Pound Life. You're like, oh no, we live in it right now. No.
I think there's a TV show that's come out recently, which is one similar to that, is like, it's called It's Your Fault I'm Fat, where it's like teenagers blaming... It's like the one I watched was like this 16-year-old lad was blaming his mum and dad for being fat.
What's a fair point? Like, I've had this argument with my mum when I started getting in better shape and eating better, and I'd go home for Sunday lunch, and my plate would be boom, and I'd eat like half, and we'll go, I've just made you all that food. I don't want to eat it. I feel bad. I feel bad not eating it, but I also feel bad eating it because I know what I've got my calorific intake for today.
Yeah.
And so you can if you're raised to eat massive fucking portions, have you ever actually given yourself like a proper portion of like cereal? I remember when I did that once. I for like 2 weeks measured out all my food. I said, okay, so what should I have for an actual recommended healthy size bowl of cereal? And it looked like the saddest fucking meal I've ever had. I looked at it and went, fuck that, I just doubled the bowl. Like, you're never going to overdose on cornflakes, bollocks to it. So when I look at making beans on toast, it's like, oh yeah, half a tin of beans is a portion. It's like, what do you want me to do with the other fucking half then? What do you want me to do with it? Or when you like a tin of soup, okay, half a tin of soup's a bowl. And you pour half a tin of soup into a pan and you don't even fucking cover the bottom of it.
No, it's not enough.
It's like, what are you doing?